These are 5 video games to look forward to this year. Not all of them require you to have played the previous titles to enjoy the game, but it can help to understand what you should expect. This is a big year for video games, so I condensed it into 5 of the best ones. Before we get into the main list, I want to mention one game that might fly under the radar for a lot of people. Eugenics is an indie game developed by Edmund Macmillan, who you may have heard of as the guy who developed Binding of Isaac. This game involves doing eugenics to cats, creating all sorts of unique transformations and placing them into turn-based battles. The progression is similar to Binding of Isaac, where the more you play, the more items you unlock, along with content like bosses and floors, but promised to be a lot more expansive down the line, meaning more playability and a lot more entertainment. I highly recommend checking this out when it releases in February, on Steam with console releases later on, where it sits at a price tag of about $30. With the honourable mention out of the way, we can move on to the top 5. This has been a highly anticipated release for a while among the Resident Evil community, and in 1 month it's releasing to all platforms at around $70. The game follows a new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, as she goes down the rabbit hole of the mystery surrounding her mum's death, Alyssa Ashcroft. There's a big focus on the horror aspects of Resident Evil when playing as her, where ink ribbons make a return that require you to collect them and use it at designated typewriters. You also play as Leon Kennedy in segments of the game, where these parts are much more action-packed and fast-paced. While Alyssa Ashcroft is a returning character from the series, her game is not necessary to play at all. At most I would recommend playing games involving Leon Kennedy such as Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 3 is also helpful as it explains what happened to the city, one of the locations of RE9, and is very important to the whole lore. Finally, RE7 was where the first-person horror really shined, while taking a detour from the main storyline of the series. From the creators of the Hitman franchise, 007 First Light highlights the origins of James Bond in this action-adventure game. You can notice the sandbox element when deciding what approach you take as you look at the 007 gameplay, which mirrors aspects of Hitman's level design. Outside of that, I would say the gadgets and movements are a lot flashier and faster, prioritizing action and style rather than the methodical stealth like in Hitman. I think this has the potential to be really good, and I would recommend checking this out even if you're not familiar with the Hitman franchise at all. Remedy Entertainment took home 3 awards for Alan Wake 2 in 2023 at the Game Awards, and they're back with the sequel to 2019's Control. Remedy themselves have said that you do not need to have played Control to pick up this title, as it will be enjoyable nonetheless. If you're familiar with the Remedy universe, you know their stories can get very crazy, so if you are invested into the world and want a full picture, I would recommend checking out Control along with Alan Wake 1 and 2, as everything is connected in one way or another. You'll be playing as Dylan Faden, searching for his sister Jessie Faden, while battling cosmic threats in Manhattan with the help of your powers and your shape-shifting weapon. The plot only gets thicker from there, so if it is something up your alley, I would definitely check Remedy out. After the Insomniac leak a while ago, which set the company back a ton, we finally got Wolverine releasing this year in fall. If you love the Spider-Man games, you'll love this. The gameplay is a lot more grounded, but it looks fluid, and the clips we've seen look like Wolverine is going to be very action-packed, much more gory compared to the Spider-Man games. I haven't consumed a lot of Wolverine content, so I can't say much about this game, but I love Insomniac, so I have no doubt this is going to be amazing. The release date isn't set, but if there aren't any delays, it'll hopefully come out around October time. This is obviously the most anticipated game of the year, and one of the most anticipated games ever. You don't need to play any of the previous games, and it's one that's been in development for a long time. GTA is such a big franchise, and after the release of Red Dead Redemption 2, it's even more reason to be hyped about the game. The graphics look incredible, and everything we've heard about the game only means more reason to be excited. Now, there was the recent explosion at one of the developer offices, but it has been confirmed that no damage was dealt important enough that would hinder the progress of the game. While another delay is probable, there aren't any leaks or insider information that hint towards that, but don't get your hopes too high as anything can happen. That's the top 5 anticipated games of the year. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, drop a like and comment something about your most anticipated game of 2026.